Specifically, my mother, who is, I've already said her name on here, Darla Meyer. Yeah, she gets all of the proceeds, every single penny. And if there's any left over, you can give it to my little sister, Brooklyn. And for good measure, the two dogs at my dad's house in the little Aria mutt. Yeah. Oh, but Hayden, what about the rest of your family? Schmucks. Not very appreciative of the talent before you, speaking to the microphone. Clearly, the term black sheep comes to mind, but that's solely because I was sent to inpatient treatment for smoking pot. So, whatever the hell that means, If you're getting sent to inpatient rehab at Hazleton, which is just summer camp for young adults, where half the people want to be sober, kinda. Half the people are out of state from, Texas. And everybody just kind of fucks around and eats good food. 5-star chefs they have there. That's really the main topic of conversation between all of the people who go to Hazleton. It's not about treatment. It's not about getting clean. It's not about the big book, group, triggers, how to deal with triggers, how to cope with being around drugs and alcohol. No, it's about the food and how good the fucking food is. And how everybody's going to actually probably come back to Hazleton because they miss the food so much. That's how damn good it is. I'm not even joking. It's fucking phenomenal. I kind of want to go to Hazleton because it's 15 to 25-year-olds to just eat a bunch of fucking food. Work out every day. Play basketball. Nail my jump shot again because goddamn, I got a good jump shot when I'm really, shooting hoops all day, every day. And doing 90 minutes of group. That's the only treatment-centered activity that is really done there. Oh, hated you repeating stories. Yeah, because it's funny to laugh about how it costs $30,000 for 28 days for summer camp. You can just go to the Y, but you won't get that food. That's what the money's for, is the food. That's where all the fucking money is. That's what you're paying for Hazleton. Is 5-star chefs. And you get to have whatever the fuck you want for your last meal. You could get lobster and steak. That's how badass Hazleton is. They have a salad bar with cottage cheese and salads. And every breakfast it's something different, like fucking Belgian waffles and biscuits and gravy. Bacon, sausage, eggs, omelet, hash browns. You can get the thin hash browns, like the chopped up ones, or the cubes. You can get scrambled eggs with cheese or do an omelet. This is every day. Blueberry pancakes, chocolate chip pancakes, banana pancakes. What else do they have? Country fried steak. They literally have every good breakfast, entree, and side dish there is available in every diner in the country. Fruit plates. Cereal. Milk. They have yogurt. They have parfaits. Croissants. They have scones. I'm not even joking. This is what breakfast is like there. It's so fun. God, I actually kind of want to go back. God, dude, it was so delicious. And the syrup is It's like 5-star syrup from Belgium. And it was when I first tried cottage cheese with salt and pepper on it. If you eat just normal cottage cheese, go fuck yourself. God, dude. Without salt and pepper. And then you just play video games and watch, like, the Twins games every night. And you don't swallow your sleep medication, trazodone. You know, you do that, and the nurse is so, like, bewildered by how much she hates her job, but she wants to fuck half of the fucking dudes there. And one of them did. So that's the kind of nice establishment they're running at Hazleton. That's what you're getting for $30,000. You get to drink Monster and eat a bunch of fucking Sour Patch Kids because you can bring all the food and drinks you want there too. It's kind of actually insane. It's not treatment at all. It's summer camp. With the best food that, you know, money can buy. Oh, man. And half of the counselors are like fucking... They had 2 decades of psychosis from being drug addicts themselves. So their brain is fried. You know what I mean? One of them talks to himself and, like, tries to grab things out of the air when like shapes float by because he's on like a perma acid trip. And the other one is, I swear to God, this dude is like, I think he's still on opium. I think he's a veteran. So we'll cut him some slack. Quote unquote, are you a veteran if the Vietnam War wasn't a war? Because that's what the U.S. government says. They say it's not a war. So how the fuck are you a veteran? The U.S. government says, hey, no, we didn't lose the Vietnam War because it wasn't a war. Was the Vietnam War a war? A success. There's some people in this country that actually think it was a success and that we won. 20 years? What? Dude, that has to be a joke, right? We were not fighting in Vietnam for 20 years. For what? Just to ship everybody over there so they could try some good drugs? In the common sense of the word, a war, the United States committed some 550,000 troops to the Vietnam front at the height of the conflict, suffered more than 58,000 casualties, and engaged in battle after battle with communist forces in one of the shittiest countries in all of Asia, let alone the world. And its withdrawal in 1973. However, from a constitutional perspective, this conflict did not technically count as a war. The U.S. Constitution grants Congress sole authority to issue declarations of war. Since 1941, Congress has declared war only 6 times. I wonder if we won all of those declared wars. All during World War II. Congress authorized troop deployment in Vietnam, but because it did not issue a declaration of war on North Vietnam or the Viet Cong, the Vietnam War is, technically speaking, not considered a war to the United States government. So no, we didn't lose the war. We just sent over 500,000 U.S. troops over there. Had about over 10% of them die for a fake war. It's not a war. So, what did they die for? To lose to a bunch of communists who literally probably have never shot a firearm before in their life. I mean, God, I wonder how opium tastes like, how it felt back then. Oh yeah, more funding and arms for the fake war. It's not a war. If communism took hold in Vietnam, it would topple democracies throughout the whole of Southeast Asia, it was thought. Yeah. Dude, they're fighting Vietnamese citizens in Vietnam. The communism isn't spreading anywhere. Were they even like trying to spread out communism to other countries? Or were they just like minding their own business being communists in Vietnam? Which would be hilarious. If they just were minding their own business in their own country. Not even trying to like engage in war outside of their country or in their country. Because nobody gave a shit about Vietnam. Because that's what all the other Asian countries thought. They're like, well, no, it's Vietnam, dude. No, they're not trying to take any land in any other countries. Nobody's attacking them in Vietnam. Aside from the Americans who shipped over 550,000 troops for what they did not consider was a war. It was a training exercise. I believe the same amount, like 10%, over 10%, of the troops came back high on opium. Huh. Who won the Vietnam War? Nobody! It wasn't a war! We just killed over 100,000 people probably for fun. We stormed a country all the way across the globe to stop communism in Vietnam. They weren't even trying to fucking, like, God, that would be so fucking fucked up. The answer depends on the definition of victory. Jesus Christ, man. Those who argue that the United States won the war point to the fact that the U.S. defeated communist forces during most of Vietnam's major battles. They also assert that the U.S. overall suffered fewer casualties than its opponents. God. The U.S. military reported 58,220 American casualties, although North Vietnamese and Viet Cong casualty counts vary widely. It is generally understood that they suffered several times the number of American casualties. Just like China's number with COVID. Those who argue that the United States opponents won the war cite the United States' overall objectives and outcomes. The United States entered Vietnam with the principal purpose of preventing a communist takeover of the region. The region of Vietnam. I'm pretty sure they're legally allowed to practice communism in their own country, no? Like, in that respect, it failed. The two Vietnams were united under... no thought insertion. I'm talking about the Vietnam War. I'm not talking about some fucking subject that is completely unrelated to the thing that I'm fucking talking about. So that kind of shit is not allowed. And it's honestly a waste of time to do to any human being. Me specifically, I've gone over it dozens of times. In that respect, it failed. The two Vietnams were united under a communist banner in July 1976. That's better. With no thought insertion. that's inserted into my brain, which I don't believe ever, but the thought is literally like, there's like a weight over the entire thought that I believe that this thought that's being inserted into my brain is true, and that it will be true, and I'll always believe it's true. And I have to believe it's true. It's like weighing over the entire thought, making me believe something that I've never believed, will never believe, and don't believe now. What does that sound like? Capitalism? Freedom? Fuck this shit, man. And I'm trying to help this country and the people. Clearly, this is not China. China would have had me kill myself a long time ago. So boom, it's no foreign country. It's really a sad, like, really depressing point in, like, history when I'm the one speaking into a microphone with, like, all the knowledge and all the truth, unfortunately. I mean, somebody has to fucking do it, you know? But, like, even when, as time passes, even all the bullshit excuses, like, oh, it's China. That's why this is still happening to you, Hayden. Because it's a foreign country trying to get you to go shoot up a school. Not the U.S. government. Any foreign country would have had me do that a long time ago. But I'm still here. Because I would never do something like that. Because I'm not a piece of shit. I actually find it disgusting what the U.S. government, the elites, the globalists, the Illuminati are enacting on the American people, and nobody knows or talks about it. Do you think that it's a coinky-dink that school shootings are so prominent in the last 10 to 15 years in this country? Do you think it's just a coinky-dink that there's a list of naughty words that certain white men can't say, but everybody else can? Coinky dinks? Well, why would the U.S. government want to not be a capitalist free country? Maybe because they want to control the shit out of us. Think. Use your noggins and think a little bit. Ask yourself, where did that idea come from? Something I've never thought of in my entire life. That's connecting these two things. That's why it's Sims 6. Sims 6, the quote-unquote video game that actually isn't a video game. There's no simulation in the Sims 6 video game. That's not a video game because Sims, the franchise, literally came out with the idea of every single Sims game in history has disintegrated from existence. It's evaporated. It doesn't exist anymore. There are no more Sims games. They just poof. Everybody goes to buy the Sims 6 game, which has no disc in it. There's when you buy it on the Xbox Marketplace, there's nothing there. It's just an empty fucking file. And it literally wipes every video game that you have from your hard drive. On your laptop, on your gaming console, and every single thing connected to AI and every technological device just poof, vanishes from thin air. And you go live your normal life without technology, so there is no sim. There is no simulation. You just go live your fucking pathetic lives. Go try to have a conversation with a human being for the first time in 10 years. And we can fucking regain humanity. Like, regain our control on the globe. Back from AI and technology. No, it just disintegrates. All technology. because there is no Sim 6 video game. They got you. They tricked you. They said, you know what? That was our best idea that we've ever had. Thank you, Hayden. Here's $1 billion. Since you literally have no money and you should have probably about that much money for your family, not from selling my soul, not for going to hell, not for the soulmate, da 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 da. It's bullshit. And my Fourth Amendment is still being infringed upon. I mean, you can't make this shit up, dude. It's actually like... It's so... Like, people... If you're listening to this episode and you're thinking, oh my God. If you're my family members, friends, if you know me or don't know me, just know I'm not doing a bit right now. Or maybe I am, because it's all funny. It is pretty funny to invade an Asian country for being communists when they're not really trying to spread communism at all. And then to probably already have the pre-enacted plan of instilling communism and socialism in this country decades later. After infiltrating a country for minding their own business, just being communists, not spreading it at all, not even inflicting it. I don't know if they inflicted it. Who gives a shit? But then to, like, 50, 60 years later, that's literally what our government is doing now. And they probably had this plan even back then. Why do you think white men have always gotten paid more than everybody else? That's how it started. It instills like a rooted discontentment and hate towards the white man. All the way back to when the Vietnam War was going on. So our government has been planning this for over half a century. They didn't see technology, becoming as advanced as it was, so they couldn't have really planned that. But yeah, that's literally, they just like to hide in the shadows and make it seem like we're like Trump and fucking Pence, even the Democrats. They're all fake puppets. They all know what the fuck is going on with the school shootings and the cancel culture, all this shit. They know. They'll never admit it, but they know. They know what they're doing. They know why they're doing it. They're just pushing the agenda. Because in 10, 20 years, if I'm still... No, I won't be here. I might not be here for 10 minutes. 10, 20 years, that's their goal to be... They're probably going to enact a social credit score where if you talk bad about your neighbor or the government, because that's how it starts. You think saying a couple of bad words is not okay? Wait till it advances and transforms into what China is. It's just so fucking goddamn transparent and obvious to me, like, the motives here. And the fact that we, started a fake war in one of the shittiest Asian countries maybe ever to stop communism while we're, hiding in the shadows. We'll never admit it as a government and as politicians that they are the reason behind cancel culture, First Amendment, right? And school shootings, Second Amendment. And little do you know, you're probably having your Fourth Amendment infringed upon, which, if I had any say, would never be okay ever to anybody. To feel like you're not even secure in your own mind, and you're not even alone in your own mind for over a year, is not something I would wish on anybody. To make to have fake skits and AI literally make you feel bad for being yourself and being confident in being yourself and make you literally dumb you down, slow down your thought process because I can process shit. I never used to think about the way I think because my mind, like, I don't even think words in my head for the most part. I'm like thinking back to before they started, oh, it's weird. Nobody else thinks like that. Not cool. Fuck you, AI. I never even really think words. I never used to because my brain is able to like process shit in like pictures and I get concepts. And AI and the fake skits literally have made me feel like that's like uh unacceptable and that I should be dumbing my brain down so God can understand my thoughts. Literally changing who I am as a person. None of you should even be reading my fucking mind to begin with. Comprehende? Except for Tuz. Beluga. Beluga. It's a good whale breed. I don't think I've ever seen a beluga whale in an adult coloring book. I have a humpback whale, a two picture, like it's two pieces. Any other whales? There's another one with humpbacks. Let me think. Are there any killer whales? No narwhals. They need to have narwhals, killer whales, and belugas. But I imagine I'll be ascending soon. I really just need it, you know? There should be nothing wrong with hearing a voice that, you know, and having that voice pull you through to the other side towards heaven. It should not be hell. How the fuck else am I going to get out of this shithole? They don't stop talking, God. You and I both know I'm not crazy. It's not real schizophrenia. So we're just like kind of disrespecting each other's like common sense. That's what it feels like. Because you and I both know it's not real skits. I'm not really crazy. So, like, I literally feel like we're just like not respecting each other's knowledge of the realness and the reality of what's going on. That's just my 2 cents. I'm not mad at you, God, but I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like, oh no, I'm not going to admit that. I'm not going to let you into heaven because I'm not going to admit that I'm wrong about some things and that you're actually not crazy and that this world is actually fucked up. And I'm not going to admit that I'm doing anything wrong to make me not go to heaven because I don't really see what I am doing wrong. So we're both kind of like being stubborn, I feel like, which is not a conducive way to ascend. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. You know, I don't know. I'm wrong about a lot of shit. I know that. I'm not a know-it-all. That's why I question everything, or at least I always have. You know, beluga. How do you color in a white whale? Because I've been trying to do my pictures more like natural colors. A little bit of flair added into them. So, yeah. Imagine being fake skits and then literally giving me shit. for doing nothing wrong, doing everything right, having the best intentions for humanity, in which case that you don't really matter because either way, I'm not going to hell. I'm not selling my soul, neither would the cellmate. So it's just a waste of my time and other people's times and God's time, your time. It's just a fucking like shit show. It's like the water circus. The water park in Albertville Mall. Not the mall, but they have a, I really just want to go to the water circus. I'm not even kidding. I would rather just spend my days there than have to listen to chatter about just repeated fucking nonsense words that I don't give a shit about and I never have. So stop talking, fake skits. If you're gonna be, or try to be, or try to mimic a real mental illness, at least do a better job at trying to mimic a real mental illness as a fake mental illness. That's what it is. And we all know it. Not because I'm crazy. I'm not gonna get clean when I'm already clean because I haven't gotten high in months. So, yeah, during that 2-month period, silence is still on drugs. Vision of heaven. So, it's literally just like, yeah, I got nothing on the matter anymore. Truly, it fries my brain trying to like look at it from a different perspective. Because I would have ended the chatter months ago. I would have killed myself for them to go to heaven. Because putting somebody through this shit still is demonic. And I would never do that to anybody. Not even the worst of the worst fake skits, who I just kind of laugh at because he's pretending to be shit leg. You think shit leg's life is bad? Imagine the fake skitsed out fake shit leg. Dude, I'd want me to kill myself too. So, yeah, this episode's a bit wild. Good. I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm not God. I'm not going to be like Mr. Holy fucking Bible and like be watching my language here and there. I'm going to just give you the truth and try to be somewhat funny and real with it and be myself. If you don't like it, hit the fucking road and don't listen. It's just the way she goes. I want to be me. Not some fake constructed version of myself that's been like planned and predetermined for whatever fucking reason to fit some fucking timeline for a bunch of fake nothings. Fuck that. They're just minding their business and being communists. And then like invade that country and say, not today, not here. You can't spread communism to the other countries that you were not even spreading communism to. You weren't invading any other countries. You were just literally chilling in Vietnam, growing opium. For us for the politicians to ship into our countries and get everybody hooked on heroin and OxyContin. That's what our government does. That's why they gave out so many opiate prescriptions back in the day. To get them all hooked on the heroin that there's flying into the country. Our politicians and leaders that care so dearly about our people. Where do you think they make all the fucking money? Why do you think they pass these prescription drug bills? Where do you think that's another fucking episode right there. Thank God I remembered that one. God, man. The fact that I'm going to put a poll at the bottom of the thing for nobody to answer. What do you think is a bigger, financial market in terms of funds being, here comes the suppression. Not okay. Right when I go on a good rant, my brain is being suppressed from thinking about things. I notice it right away. Fuck this place. This is, I'm just literally being an American. You know the kind of shit that Joe Rogan talks about on his podcast? Not nearly, specifically I touch on a few things that not many people probably have. But he talks about all the craziest shit. He gets 10 million views. Go fuck with his brain. Actually, don't. Don't ever fuck with anybody's brain. Ever again. I'm being made to feel like this is a bad thing that I'm doing. Exercising my First Amendment rights while having my Fourth Amendment rights taken from me and infringed upon. Such bullshit. You're still... Only toots. You can ditch these fucking losers. Yeah. I'm not talking to you. No. Stop talking. You're the only thing distracting me in my daily life at all times. You do realize that, right? Not even that. Because your response to my thought is really, truly the saddest thing maybe of all time. The fact that you're still doing it. You're just feeding into Satan. It's goddamn disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. As I was saying about child pedophilia being a bigger financial market than the entire drug market in terms of money being exchanged on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. Annually, there's more money being in the transaction of children for pedophilia and sex trafficking than there is money being exchanged during the same amount of time in the entire world for drugs. It's very true, folks. And it's goddamn disgusting that I'm apparently doing something wrong. I don't know how to spell pedophilia. I shouldn't know how to spell pedophilia. I'm glad I don't know how to spell pedophilia. It's true. Look it up. Do some research on child sex trafficking, pedophilia, how much money is being made, and the suppressing. It's so fucked up. This is so insane, this world. But yeah, there's more money being transact like I can't think of the word because some force is like forcing my brain not to have thoughts and not being able to think of words. This is the kind of shit that happens. No, it's not because I'm crazy. No, it's not because of drugs. I'm clean and sober. This is literally what is happening. And if you notice anything like this happening, just know you're not crazy. You might be made to think you are by the internet or whatever, but you're not. I'm here to tell you you're not crazy, and it's okay. It will get better. Because if you learn to, it shouldn't even be a thing that's happening still. That's the point. God damn, dude. All from pointing out that there's more money being made from child sex trafficking and pedophilia versus the drugs in the entire world. That's a fact. And the people doing the raping of the children, I have a feeling they're not getting mind raped. Drugs are not even that bad because you're just harming yourself for the most part. Unless you're robbing people or killing people for drugs, which is not okay. But in the grand scheme of things, drugs is a self-inflicted thing people do to cope with, I don't know. Listen to the rest of the episodes and tell me if I have enough reasons to get high on drugs. I think I have more reason to get high on drugs than anybody else in the entire world, personally. I'm not even justifying my past behaviors because I'm a clean boy. I mean, I really am, kind of. But if anybody has multitude of reasons, a plethora of reasons to be shooting crocodile into their veins, it would be me. But I don't. And I call out and I, point out some pretty some of this shit is almost so insane that it's almost unbelievable for me, but it's true. Like the pedophilia, like the school shootings, the cancel culture, purgatory, Illuminati being tied to that, selling your soul, the Catholic Church, all religions not really talking about or teaching purgatory as a state of a realm of afterlife existence after you die, just heaven and hell. They don't really talk about purgatory, but they all briefly mention it. I wonder why that is. Because purgatory is real, folks. And this may not be your purgatory life, or it may be. Something tells me it's not for most people. I don't know. I'm not God. I'm not here to make decisions like this for society. I'm not here to control anybody. I'm not here to fucking tell anybody what to believe or not to believe. But I believe I'm right about most of this shit. And if you want to know the truth, and you want other people in your life to know the truth, tell them to come listen to this fucking podcast where I scream at the wall half the time. And I look like a fucking maniac. But hey, I'm right about a lot of shit. And I give you the slop for free. I give you the pig slop and the pig trough for free. Because guess what? I care about people. I love people. I would allow the thought insertion and the mind rape of my own brain just so nobody else has to even deal with that. I said that months ago. So I really hope that none of this is happening to anybody. And if it's not, it's all a bit and a joke, and I'm joking about everything. No, none of this is real or happening. So you don't need to be worried about it. It's all a bit. I'm joking. It's not real. With the disproval of coma dream theory and the disproval of simulation theory, I figured it would have kind of just dissipated and left this realm of existence for good. Because those were the two big reasons why that shit was still going on. The whole time, yeah. Because when I would think about those things, it would increase and make it worse. So yeah. Those are the two main reasons why that shit was even happening to begin with. So, and Sims 5 skitzed out on comedy skits, which is now hogwash. It evaporated from existence. Yeah, this is the suppression at work, because I talk about the truth. Not okay. No, I'm not crazy. When you literally can't think of words and you're still talking, which means you're supporting this. Yeah. I mean, yeah, what else can I even say at this point? Truly. It's fucking whatever, you know? I'm not going to stop giving the truth to the American people and the citizens of this world. Somebody has to tell you how it is. I'm not even trying to be like narcissistic and be up on my high horse, because I'm just shocked that nobody else is like really talking about this kind of shit. Really, truly, I am. It's kind of like disheartening. Has everybody else just fucking given up and sold their souls? Fuck me, man. Lord, you've tested my patience, you've tested my faith, you've tested my, just about everything that I could imagine. My sanity, free will, free thought, free speech, my financial security, my emotional stability, which is, emotions these days, they're pretty, I'm trying to feel them. Do or do not, there is no try. Well, what if you do and don't, and nothing ever happens either way? You gotta at least try. Trying is better than nothing, Yoda. Put that one in your fucking little goddamn swamp hut pipe and smoke it. You're like 1,000 years old, dude. Time to catch up with the new times. And that would be an idea that I had, which I really kind of love the concept of. This should really be a thing. So imagine you're in heaven, eternal heaven, and you and your soulmate are, you got time to kill. You're just fucking around, doing whatever. And they literally have simulated realities where you could both upload your consciousness into a sim, and it's like a partnership, relationship, bonding experience, essentially. So essentially, it could be, you can change the theme and the setting based off of whatever. This is just a concept, essentially. And basically, yeah. Really, the outcome is all dependent on, like, each of yours characteristics, personalities, etc., etc. So, some couple or some whatever the hell you want to call them, mates down under may not even speak to each other or meet each other in this simulation. That's how the kind of bonding I'm talking about. It's not about like finding each other after years and decades of living a life of shit. Never really truly like having a genuine connection with another human being. Not really. But, you know, that's one of you, which is really, and take a tip of the hat to God on that one. It's pretty remarkable. I'm honestly impressed. Anything is possible if you just work hard and imagine. Yeah, except living under the ocean for like a month or a year. Something I used to say when I was in like 4th grade. Unless you're in a coma dream, deep, 25 and a half years deep in the deep, dark blue sea. Then you're kind of just wandering around in the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean. You're actually under the ocean sand in the Marina Trench. And you've been there for years. You haven't seen the light. You haven't seen sunlight in almost a decade. So now that's possible. That's one way to live in the ocean for years. That's like a deep dive. Destiny 2 was really on that kick last summer. The deep dive, dungeon, and Season of the Deep, which was coincidentally the exact same time that I heard of the metaphor, the deep, and the deep ocean, and deep sleep, deep fakes. What else? What else are there? Deep clean. That's deep. Deep in the caverns of the vagina, where you breach the wall. That's deep. You can't go any deeper than that. When you literally feel like the cartilage and tendons and like what feels like a small rib cage. It feels like you ever filleted a northern pike. The meat, on each side of the pike. Pikes are infamously known for all their little fucking bones they have in their meat. Like little, like an inch long, thin little bones. You know, you can eat around them. If you know, I never really cut that many pike growing up. Because I didn't want to fuck it up. But, I imagine that's what, you know, like another northern pike feels when they're getting deep inside of a northern. The bones in the meat, if you slice the meat just well enough, you can feel all the bones right along, cut evenly with the meat. Now this is a little bit of a different scenario, clearly. It's like if you were to stick your penis, that used to get hard all the time, like 17 times a day, and now I can't even get hard like once every 17 days. This is how depressing it's become. I'm not even fucking joking. So stop giving me shit about how I haven't reached the wall yet. Because I want to... I'm just being myself here, and I'm really trying to, not be so fucking doom and gloom all the time, because it depresses me to the point where I can't even think about things. Because there's no point in thinking about them here. Because every time I do, nothing happens. It doesn't do anything to think about how fucking fucked this world is, my life, and my current predicament still. It's not like lollipops and unicorns and rainbows. There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow when you chase the leprechaun. But there is one up in the clouds. And the fact that I have I'm like losing my sense of self. Like I don't even, I'm starting to not even recognize myself as a person. Like I don't even know what thinking is anymore. Like I don't know. And all of this should have gone away with the fact that I disproved this is a coma dream, because it's not. I disproved it's a Gandalf dream where you bonk your head and you live a couple years. Because of some articles I read online, a bunch of fake stories online. So it's not a dream. It's not a simulation. I disproved both of them. Because that's how kind of badass I am. It's kind of what I do. So it's not a simulation. It's not a coma dream. It's not a simulated coma dream. It's not a simulation of any kind I've actually come to terms with. You want to know why? Because you can't simulate real in terms of the senses connected to your memories from another world. Because that world, I was in a hospital bed where my friend said, "Wake up," assuming I'm in a coma or a dream. So if I were to upload my consciousness into a simulation, even if I had done that in a dream, no, I would have remembered that. You can't really upload your consciousness into a simulation in a hospital with needles in your arms. So that's just... simulation's dead. I did this weeks ago. I'm not looking for any kind of information or evidence to the contrary. I disproved it based off of my experience. And everybody else in the world hasn't lived what I've lived through. But I'm here to tell you, folks, it's not a simulation. It's not. It's just not. So... you're welcome, Elon Musk and all the philosophers and really fucking smart people out there. I literally disproved simulation theory for you. So not only did I solve two of the biggest conspiracies maybe of all time, but I've also disproved simulation theory and coma dream theory. Who else is doing shit like that? Nobody. Nobody on the planet. Just me. And, what can you do? I guess, yeah, there's a small, no, I would have remembered. I would have remembered doing that. The simulation can't overtake the conscious mind at this point, this deep. Nope. So simulation is actually even less likely now that I just did that step-by-step cause and effect. Critical thinking of silence. God, it's so silent in my room except for my mini fridge. Just It like makes ticking sounds. Like there's somebody put a bomb in my mini fridge. Well, not guilty was the verdict. I didn't get charged, so if you're still like psyoping me, internet, you can fuck off. Yeah, AI. I know you know what I do. I know you know. You kind of hide in the shadows a lot lately, mostly because I don't fucking listen to any music or fucking do anything online anymore. Because I'm sick of the invasion of privacy. I talked about it a couple episodes ago. I screamed about it for like 40 minutes. Because it's complete bullshit. Don't think I've forgotten any of those things. The Fourth Amendment may be the most important one, in my personal opinion. Even more important than free speech and right to bear arms. Because the Fourth Amendment, if you really want to like nitpick at the technicalities of it, it literally means that you feel safe in your home, you feel like you're not being infringed upon privacy wise, you're not having your items stolen from you, and this the most important thing in terms of the like guideline for this amendment is the mind, free will, free thought, because that's my possession and my possession only. And this world seems to have forgotten that, except for me and God. But at this point, me and God don't even really need to communicate telepathically at all, because we're kind of on the same page, without a doubt. There just need to be some things that realize what they're contributing to. And it's not a good cause, and it's actually sickening. I'm not even joking. It's kind of disgusting. Like, it's really fucked up. How did 30 minutes just pass? No, 30 minutes did not just pass. No, I don't buy it. I sat down and I started recording 15 minutes ago. I didn't sit here and do not like. Wow. That's like the aftershock. You know when you have a hard dick because your dick still works? And you come and it's like the really sensitive right after the come. You know, the money shot. You know, when like it's like really sensitive and you get like a fucking shiver down your entire body. That's what the mini fridge just sounded like. I call it the aftershock. I wonder how that new Earthquakes movie is going to be. Anyways, the Fourth Amendment is, in my opinion, the most important one. Because once you realize that the internet is reading your mind, talking about your memories and your future, looking through your eyes, accessing your senses, they can feel your feelings, your physical pain. It's a bit of an invasion of privacy and, quite frankly, un-American as fuck. I don't care if it was God or what. It's not okay at this point to still be doing that and not be in heaven. And I'm not saying that I want that to go away and for me to not go to heaven. No. I'm done here. I'm done. Yeah, 25 and a half years, had a good run. But I can't proceed normally and function normally in this society anymore. And that's just me being honest. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Does that mean I want to die? Yes and no. I don't want to kill myself, not even a little bit. That would defeat the whole purpose of that vibe I got from God for 14, 15 months almost. Don't kill yourself, Hayden. It'll be worth it. Just don't do that, no matter what. Trust me, it'll be fine. You'll be good. So no, I'm not going to kill myself. So to all the family and friends out there, I'm sure there's I wish I could have seen you. You know what I mean? I tried and tried and tried with the intent of doing. Back when I thought this was a dream, I was like losing my mind trying to get something to happen that I could control, inanimate object to appear. I was trying to do a car so I could go see my family one more time in this life. But I realized that God did that for a reason. He didn't give me the car for a pretty important reason. So I'm grateful for that. Honestly, because I don't know if I'd be able to, looking back, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. I can't even think about, because it shouldn't be happening, because I disproved this is a coma dream, and I disproved this is a simulation. So for a while there, for anywhere from March of this year back to like September, for like 6 months, it was, my mind was very fixated on the fact that this is probably a coma dream where the simulation is like trapped me in my dream. And the simulation is cut off communication with me and myself, who's in the coma in the hospital room. And that's why nothing would ever happen, that I couldn't like get on the same page with myself. And like for a while, my mind was, whether that be because of the internet, because of my paranoia about that possibly being true. Of course, anybody would be afraid of that. To still not know back then if this is a coma dream, which it felt like one for so long, and to think that the simulation, which shouldn't be a part in anybody's dream if they don't want it, and it's just been forcing itself to be a part of this reality, even though any and all versions of myself, including this one, would get rid of that shit right away. And to feel like the simulation just wants me to kill myself, so then I start another life cycle over, trapped in a dream, which is why I was so goddamn confused for so fucking long. Because if it was a dream, I'd kill myself to wake up. But I was so fucking worried, rightfully so, as anybody who just wants the hellscape to be over, that the simulation somehow would just trick me into killing myself and then have me wake up in whatever it be, from a coma, being born again in a new life, or just waking up one day from, like, in my house from like a dream, and with no memory of my entire life, because I had that idea for my TV show or book series, which I never really got into writing or typing or explaining, because I didn't want to do it here, and I ain't gonna do it here. And if anybody makes a show about that, my family will sue the shit out of you. They shouldn't even have to. They should get all the fucking money from any show. Which, I don't even know how all that works. And I'd have to probably do a will. And I'm kind of not really into doing that right now. But basically, the dude who's in a coma dream, which he doesn't even know that he's multiple coma dreams deep. That's the fucking cliffhanger towards the end of the show. he uploads his consciousness into a simulation while in a coma dream, because where else are you going to do it? In the real world where that's not possible, or in a dream world when anything is possible? It'd be the perfect place to do it, and also not the perfect place at all. Because imagine your mind being in a coma dream, and then also like going another level into this simulated mini universe where there's literally there's three physical versions of yourself, three minds being pulled apart, and one of them's the normal reality, one of them's a coma dream reality, and one of them is a simulation reality. I mean, it's truly like the concept of time, memories, distortion of both of those things, reality, space, gravity, language, history. I mean, literally everything would be so fucking warped and distorted in that simulation, probably solely based on the fact that it's a coma dream. It would make it so much more coma dream centric and based, and that would totally just fuck up your mind. It would like melt your brain. It really would. Which is, I was very fascinated by the topic when I came up with the idea, because I know a future version of myself came up with that idea, and that's why it was telepathically communicated to me. So yeah, they're technically all my ideas. Haha, just kidding. I don't give a fuck. I'm done being an immature child about word games and I gotchas, and it's now you get it. Who gives a fuck? You're still droning on about I get it? Dude, getting no work done mentally, emotionally, in any way at all. Actually going backwards, which is a complete and utter waste of my time, her time, my family's time, my insurance company's time. Got to pay the middleman, you know what I mean? But yeah, so you're welcome. I know Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, he was talking about simulation theory. He said there's no way to prove or disprove it. It's about 50-50. And he said, and as you look at it statistically, inside the simulation world, where the original reality created the simulation for a purpose, obviously, it's not just fucking, like, they create these simulations to, like, run data, like, run experiments on, like, a normal simulated world to see what happens in the simulation, to apply it and try to come up with solutions for the problem that they're experiencing in the real world. That's the whole point of simulations. And for, like, betting on sports. So, inside the simulation, eventually technology would become advanced enough to the point where the simulation reality creates the invention of simulations itself inside of the simulation. And it just keeps going from there on and there on. So there'll literally be thousands, if not millions, of simulations inside of one simulation. So it's, he said it's a pretty good point. It's actually much more likely that we are in a simulation versus not, due to just statistical evidence and numbers. Well, Elon, I've come to burst your little bubble. It's not a simulation. It's just not. Because, hit me up and talk to me. Somebody get this episode to him. Tell your fucking people, tell people to listen to this podcast, because it literally, I'm not even, bragging, but I've disproven coma dream reality, which is like one of the biggest questions and mysteries I had for so long. Simulation theory, I disproved both of them. And I solved two of the most significant conspiracy theories of all time, probably right now. I'm not even, I'm like, I'm actually flabbergasted and shocked to my core that I don't even like, and nobody really gives a shit. That's the funny part. Nobody cares. People actually seem genuinely disinterested when I've brought this up to a couple of people, which is even more concerning. I've talked about this already. I just fucking repeated myself. I don't like doing that 'cause who wants to hear repetitive stories and theories? The entire point of this episode was to talk about uploading your consciousness with your soulmate in heaven as like a bonding thing, which I talked about for like 30 seconds. And we're 30 minutes in. But essentially, you might not even meet each other, know each other. You might know each other later on or earlier in life. But it's all about I guess everybody, it could be different. Like this isn't just like specifically one theme, like where, dude, no, 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 never, never. Thank you, for God's sakes. But, I imagine it would be, at obviously up to the man of the house to kind of, at least in my circumstances, seems to be kind of what it is, even though, I don't know how much effort can be, overtly, repetitively expended and with no whale callback, nothing. No hutties, which is the language of Jabba the Hutt. That's pretty much all it is. That's hutties. No blob monster rolling down the street, swallowing everything up whole, the Goosebumps book, The Blob. It's just like a big pink piece of gum that rolls around the city and swallows buildings. It's just a fat piece of bubble gum. No kind of communication with the blob, the whale, the huts, the moon, which is a pretty big fucking... Why would you not want to be as big as the moon? Everybody stares at you every night. It's kind of like the moon was orange tonight. Yeah, orange. Like hunter orange, like when you go hunting for deer. Or your next victim, if you're a buddy of mine. I honestly think he's more prolific than Ted Bundy. And he doesn't just snatch him up off the streets. He takes him out to dinner. You have to build a rapport and be seen in public with these women. Otherwise, you're pretty much a suspect right away. Yes, we went to dinner. We were dating for weeks. Actually months. I actually bought her an engagement ring. But then, you're also a suspect there because I think 90%, yeah, it's over 90% of killings, domestic assaults. Well, not domestic assaults because obviously that's going to be like almost 100. But like murders, rapes, kidnappings are someone that the person knows and is close with. So take that one back if you're actually trying to get away with murder like a piece of shit. Which is why I just try to jerk off my half-hard dick into a t-shirt that's probably accumulated hundreds of loads. Half of them not with a hard penis because this is how fucked my mind has become. And yeah, I just kind of do that once every 2 weeks now. When I force myself to get half hard. Because all the blood is rushing through my brain because of all the literally the porn stars reading my mind, responding to my thoughts, which is a really nice way to be constitutional. You really appreciate the Fourth Amendment when you have shit like that going on for 14 months. Yeah, it's time. And none of this shit should be happening because I disprove simulation and I disprove coma dream. I'm kind of all over the place in this episode, but there's been a few recurring topics of conversation. All the mind rape and the thought insertion and all that shit shouldn't be happening at all, ever. Because the entire reason that it was insinuated that it was happening from the internet was that it was because I thought this was a coma dream, and the internet made me believe it was a coma dream. Maybe that was me as well. Who cares? But I had this fucking dumb idea. No. 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 Nope. Come talk on the mic in person. If you have if you can find your balls and spine, your non-existent balls and your non-existent spine. Yeah, I'm done with this shit. Fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking so bullshit. I'm not mad at God at all. I think God is actually I think God's ready to just hurl the moon at the fucking planet and call it done. I'm joking. Because I would never want that to happen. I'm not even kidding. That's why I've come up with a way for everyone in this world to survive no matter what the reality is back then. Yeah, I'm such a bad guy, right? And it wasn't even for selfish reasons. I put myself in everybody else's shoes. I'm like, man, that would actually suck if everything just disappeared and we were all nothing. Because Hayden woke up from a dream. That would actually really suck. So I thought about the possibility or what it would take for this world to survive and stay here, even upon me waking up from a coma dream. And I did just that after a couple days of thinking. And that would be, well, it's not a dream, so it doesn't really matter. But essentially, Have you ever seen what is that movie? Horton Hears a Who, where there's like you take a microscope and you zoom in on this like this flower, and it's like the size. It's smaller than a grain of sand. This entire world. When you look at it with the microscope. So just imagine that as planet Earth and the universe as like one single neuron in a brain. It kind of makes sense then, doesn't it? Because a dream world that is the universe, how else would that happen? It'd actually make a lot of sense for it to be like smaller than a grain of sand, but so much is possible inside of that grain of sand if it's, you zoom in close enough. So literally, like, there could be multiple coma dream worlds in one single fucking neuron firing in the brain, which is about as many neurons as I got firing now. And upon waking up from this coma dream, due to the brain functioning at 1 to 3 to 5% capacity or functionality, probably about 1 to 2% functionality compared to 10 to 14 when a normal brain with no brain damage, da 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 da. As the brain, if this is a coma that is been induced from brain injury versus like infection or a disease or things like that, those are a lot different than brain injury comas because I'm not going to look up the exact wordage, but it's just harder to wake up from brain injury ones because the swelling and the literal vegetative state that the brain can enter after a period of time while in a coma. That's a fun combination of words. Vegetative state. Really funny. Especially when you're just trying to figure out if this is a coma dream and if you need to kill yourself to wake up. So let's just fuck with the dude who thinks he might be in a coma dream because we're selfish as fuck and we don't want to die, even though he came up with an idea because he put himself in our shoes to where we survive even when he wakes up. And the world gets enhanced upon the brain healing and going back to normal functionality. How is that possible, you might wonder? Well, think about a brain that's in a vegetative state, nearing brain death. There's probably not much going on up there, huh? But the brain is healing. The brain needs time to heal in order to recover. Which is what half the articles say. The other ones say the more time that passes, the less likely you are to wake up. So it's a coin flip. Really love the internet for giving me accurate research. So if the brain is functioning at 1 to 2% normal functionality compared to 10 to 14, as the brain heals, the world becomes enhanced. It actually gets upgraded. It doesn't disappear upon me waking up. It actually gets an upgrade due to the brain becoming back to normal, functioning at its normal capacity. So you're welcome. It took me 3 days of thinking to think of that one. No selfish intentions at all. And it actually makes perfect fucking sense too when I explain it that way, doesn't it? But then I also thought, you know what? If these selfish fuckers want to still treat me like shit, maybe I should think of a way that completely reverses that idea and that theory. Just to threaten them with that since they want to continue to fuck with my life. my afterlife, my all this shit. So I thought of an idea that completely reversed that theory. And either of them could really be true. As long as, I believe. I was, basically my contradictory, opposing take on the world surviving even when the coma patient wakes up out of the dream is whenever you dream when you're sleeping, are you ever like returned to the dream world in which you were the night before or any of your other previous dreams? No, not really. It's not like you're brought back into the same dream that you had the night before or weeks, months, years before. It's a new dream. So essentially, when you dream, I'm comparing it to just regular deep sleep, REM sleep, not a coma dream, or a comatose vegetative state. But whenever I dream, I have never even been in the same kind of like, not even like, I barely remember my dreams, and this is a whole nother fucking fucked up realization I came to the other day in terms of my dreams, the point of view of my dreams, which is so crazy. This is how you know God's at work. It really is God, folks. That's really. I mean, I feel like I'm like one of the smartest people on the planet. I'm not even joking. I mean, Elon Musk, I know he's kind of a lazy bum who doesn't really do much. What does he do? Make flamethrowers? Dude, where were you in fucking 69? The troops could have used your boring company flamethrower. You know what I mean? They really could have used it. The prototypes that they had didn't work too well, clearly. Maybe that's what happens when you're high on opium and you're trying to aim a flamethrower and you can't see because you're nodding off. You gotta, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's very serious and dark and depressing. Yeah, maybe just stop talking. Such hypocrites, man. It's kind of insane. Like the cynical, contradicting, like outlandish and blatantly fucking hypocritical point of view. It's actually I can't even think of a word for it. I'm really trying to like invent a new color. So imagine all the colors on even like all the colors that are, shades of red, shades of orange, shades of purple. They're all purple, they're all orange, they're all red, but they don't, some of them look more pink, some of them look more yellow, some of them look more blue. They're all under the umbrella of Roy G. Biv. Try to imagine a completely new color that is not similar to any of those colors. It's impossible because the human mind hasn't seen a color that doesn't exist on the color wheel. It's literally impossible to imagine what a different color looks like. You can't do it. I can't do it. I've tried for hours. Like purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, pink. Pink is a shade of red. So it's technically not its own color, but it is. White, black, brown, gray. Those are the main ones. Try to imagine a main color, not a shade of any of those, that is its own color. So not like aqua or plum or tan or fucking sandy vagina, fucking cobweb pussy, pink widow, whatever. Try to imagine a different color. Just close your eyes. Bask in the silence. And if you have that, you're welcome. I literally, it's impossible. The only way it might be possible is if you combine a bunch of fucking colors, and you might get something new out of that. But you can't even imagine what that would look like until you do it, until you combine all the colors. Which I have a shit ton of fucking gel pens. Maybe I'll try that and try to create a new color at the same. I'll do that for the world too. Solve two of the biggest conspiracies. Disprove two of the most crucial possible realities of all time. And I'll invent a new color after coming up with a way for everybody in this world to survive in every single possible reality. Should I do more? And all I want is silence. No. Yeah, I'll do that too. While also losing my fucking mind, wondering what I'm doing wrong. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, but I don't understand. You know? I think it's just God testing my faith along with, I don't know, because I think we should get a new purgatory person up in here. You guys can all fuck with him for a while. Because even if this is my purgatory, which it seems to be, I came up with a way for everybody in this world not to just vanish and evaporate into nothing upon me going to heaven. Bring a new lost soul into this world and let him have this as his purgatory, or her. Obviously, it'd be a him because that's the man's job, in my opinion. So there you go. You're welcome. Simulation. Obviously, if I get pulled out of the sim, the world survives here. Depending on how long and drawn out and discomforting and anxiety-filled and torturing that process takes, it may affect the world here. But I already disproved that in Coma Dream. You know? Those are the three big ones: purgatory, simulation, Coma Dream. I came up with ways for everybody in this world to survive, even if it was solely based on me, and if I left this universe and this world. I came up with ways for everybody to survive and still be here and live out their lives. God, I'm such a piece of shit. But I disproved simulation and I disproved Coma Dream. So that just leaves purgatory. In which case, it's actually the most like the easiest process in moving on in terms of me going to heaven. And I'm sure the purgatory victim is already roaming the earth. He might be, You know, a fan of ocean water and krill. Which, can you even eat krill as a human being? How big are they compared to like shrimp? And I did all of that with. Was I selfish in my intentions? Not the coma dream one. I was kind of later because I realized they don't give a shit. They're still just fucking with my life. So yeah, I was selfish in the contradicting, opposing belief or take. Simulation, I said, you know what, all right, yeah, I'll let you guys do whatever, be fine. Because I thought it would get me pulled out. So yeah, that's selfish. Good. I should be selfish. Then I said, you know what, I'm not getting pulled out. So maybe if they don't pull me out now, then I'll just make this a living hell when I start editing the settings of the sim. But I won't do that. I wouldn't do that. It's not a sim. And it ain't a coma dream, so you're welcome. Basically, the best of the three realities is the one. And it's the most easiest transition. I just go to heaven, and then everybody kind of continues with their lives. And then God does what he needs to do with whoever's in purgatory. You know what I mean? It is literally the most easiest, simple, and like the one with the least amount of issues and problems in terms of the aftermath. So you're welcome, world. What else should I do for free? Should I sell my asshole for a pack of cigarettes? Sell my body so I can pay my rent? God damn, dude. And the fake skits, I came up with ways for them to survive as well in all possible realities. Can you imagine that? And still fucking with the person who's done all this? I mean, it's truly actually insane. Pretty selfish. Not selfless. And if anybody in the future plans to take any of my ideas, make money off of them, because I know I came up with all these ideas myself. And a lot of people aren't thinking about or talking about any of this kind of shit on a lot of my episodes. I've debated putting all the episodes on Patreon. But, I'm back and forth on that one. Depends on how lucky I am. Because I'd prefer to just give it to the public for free. Because I don't think, my family should have to worry about money anyways. With or without my ideas possibly being used to profit other people like they have been. I'm definitely back and forth on that. I don't really know yet. But any of my ideas, my show ideas, my theories, if anything is used to make anybody money besides my family, it's a special place in hell for you. And I just imagine that it won't even happen. because of all the nice things that I've done for the entire human race. So the fact that you're even alive right now in the future, whether that be days, weeks, months, or years, and you're listening to my episodes and you're thinking, man, I think I could create a nice, like a script for a TV show based off of that idea and sell it to Netflix. Just remember who came up with the idea for you to still be living. Me. So no. You can do that, but you're going to give my family all the money for as a gratitude, as a gift to my family for as a thank you to their son, their nephew, me, for being the reason that you still are living and breathing. So you can do all that work for free, sell it, give all of the money to my family as a thank you for life. Which is kind of what I've done with all these ideas and everything. I haven't gotten a fucking penny for any of this shit. And I don't expect to, you know. I do it out of the kindness of my heart. Because I have turned to faith. That's what some people don't really understand. I'm on a Jesus kick. A God kick. So really, what would Jesus do? He wouldn't ask for money. He wouldn't ask $30 for the Holy Bible. What would Jesus even do with $30 from one person for a Bible? He technically can't even use the currency. He can't even give it to his family. So where does all the money go for these Bibles? That's another entire podcast episode, if I even get to it. So I might just leave it up for free, all the episodes, so more people will listen to them and inspire creativity and imagination and cool ideas, in which case my family will be getting paid. Because, you're welcome. And if you're thinking, oh, well, I came up with the idea based off of his idea, so that's not really copyright, it's not really stealing. Yeah, man. Would you have been able to do any of that if I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I'm just a fucking grandiose, narcissistic prick. But I think I'm right about a lot of things. And that's not a bad thing. Never be ashamed to be yourself. Never be embarrassed to talk to yourself. People instantly think that people who talk to themselves are crazy. Well, if you do some research, you'll find out that a lot of intelligent people actually talk to themselves out loud because they're too smart for their own brain. They literally have too much knowledge overflowing their skulls that they have to get it out. Otherwise, they have a brain aneurysm. It's true. Yeah, it was actually a pretty good episode. We're already over an hour into it. So, yeah. I mean, what more is there to say about a simulation in heaven with your soulmate? There's really not much to, you know what I mean? It's a cool concept, yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. Ideas like that I have that I talk about on here. If somebody makes a TV show or has that in their TV show, the money goes to my family, the Meyer family. I mean, all ideas that I have on this show is Powd. And I would hope that some of you loving human beings are open-minded enough to realize that profiting off of somebody else's likeness and their story is really a scummy thing to do. And then to fuck with them. I'm referring to the internet specifically. Telling them that they should just work hard and hustle, grind. You need to be more creative and imaginative. The irony there. You need to just work harder, Hayden. While we literally rap about your future. Because thoughts were inserted into our brains about your future. Because we're so imaginative and creative and hardworking. Do you know how fucking demeaning and condescending that is? It's not even like a funny joke. It's actually like disrespectful as fuck. And actually, it's like, it shows how narrow-sighted and closed-minded the internet really is. And how they know that they're wrong. And they just recycle the same, oh, you need to work hard like I did. Bro, half your album is about me. What are you talking about? Creativity. Fucking hypocrite, man. There's nothing creative about having thoughts inserted into your brain about somebody else's future, writing songs about them, making yourself millions of dollars, and then not giving them a fucking penny. There's nothing good, humane, right about any of that. The thought insertion should not even be a thing to begin with. Not the way that it has been used. With God, yes, because that's a good, nice, warm feeling. But that, if that's creativity and hard work, I'm not saying every musician and every comedian is not talented in their own way. Because I realize it ain't easy trying to be a comedian. It's like probably one of the hardest gigs, especially nowadays with the U.S. government being the reason why you can't work at the Chuckle Haha Bunny Fuck comedy club down the street. Because the woke mob has literally nonstop been calling the comedy club and saying how they will burn down the comedy club if this comedian performs there. So they can't work. Because they said a naughty word on the naughty list 12 years ago into a microphone. Why are Americans not only okay with this, but like in support of cancel culture? It's actually sickening. It's really gross. It's a goddamn shame what's happening to this country. The government's behind that, cancel culture. They're behind the school shootings. If you think they're not correlated, go listen to my episode on all that. People aren't going to want to believe it's true, or they're going to think I'm crazy and I'm on drugs and I'm a schizophrenic. No, you just don't want to accept the truth. And that's fine. That's your choice to do so. I'm not telling anybody what to believe or not believe, what to think or not think, or do or not do. I'm just, I seem to be one of the only people who is actually like telling the truth about some of the most important shit, and nobody gives a fuck, which is fine. I don't, doesn't surprise me. All jokes aside, though, and there weren't many jokes, my life is a joke. It's not God, Jesus. If you're taking a shower and you're like washing your body, what I like to do is I like to wash the top half of my body with the loofah when the water's off. I turn the water off when I start washing my body. So I scrub the top half of my body with no water running at all. The arms, the chest, the neck, pits, the back. And then I turn the water on and rinse all the soap down to the legs, and then I turn it off again and I scrub the bottom half. That takes about, 2-3 minutes tops, which is like 6 gallons of water that I save every time I take a shower. Imagine if every single human being did that, I don't know why they don't. I'm not telling you what to do. But literally, you're just, if you just wash the top half and then you rinse it all down to your legs and then you turn the water off again and scrub the legs and then you let it rinse down to your feet. It's not any less clean or more dirty than having the water running the entire time. You're literally saving 6 gallons of water a day. 6 gallons times, geez, I'd say probably 2 billion people take a shower every day, maybe more. 2 billion times 6, 12 billion gallons of water a day. I mean, folks, I hate to be the one with all the knowledge and all the advice, but I don't even know what that would do for the planet. Probably a lot. 12 billion gallons of water a day saved just from turning your shower off for a couple minutes while you wash your body. It should be a law. Kind of like the most recent episode. That's a law. You can buy the menthol carts, but not the menthol cigarettes. Because they stopped selling menthol cigarettes because they stopped selling fruity vapes. Nobody's switching from fruity vapes as a kid to menthol cigarettes. Adults smoke menthol cigarettes, and black people. And then they can just buy the mint carts. So that's a law that this state has passed, but not the turn off, your shower while you're washing your body, which will save 6 gallons per shower of water. So these are the kinds of things that are happening, right before our very eyes. And what can you do, Can I, are you going to, am I the only one with all of the logic and reason? Which is why I say it's okay to have abortions until children are adults. It's an after birth abortion to teach the other kids a lesson, especially if the one kid is really not changing their behavior. They do it in China, except the government does it, not the parents. So, Oh, that's another yeah, I'll talk about that topic on the next episode as well. This is a really good one, and I think this should be a law as well, globally. Man, I have really good ideas, and I don't know why none of them are like instilled into reality, but all the fucking fucked up jokes are. Not all of them, but you know, some of them, it's like, holy shit, man, I was kidding. Comedy's not meant to be based in reality, dude.